Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are gearing up and getting ready to start some tomato seeds. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love growing tomatoes. I don't know if it's because of how fast they germinate. I just loved and thought it was so cool watching them grow and develop the big root system, or just because we are one step closer to enjoying them this summer. So I found that using the double solo cup method actually really helped me last year. I grew tomatoes in two different ways. I either did the solo cups or I put them in 3-inch pots when it was time to up pot them. And I found that as a beginner gardener, it's very easy to go ahead and overwater, especially because I wasn't doing well with bottom watering. And when you do the solo cup method, it forces you to bottom water compared to when I had them in 3-inch pots. I was going ahead and watering them on top, and I had so much root rot, and I didn't really know about getting good potting soil. So I don't know if that is what caused me to lose almost all of my tomatoes that I had in my 3-inch pots. Now, the ones I had in the solo cups thrived, and I'm definitely going to switch over to this time, and I can't wait to share with you. So what you're going to need for the double solo cup method is you're going to need 18-ounce solo cups. Now, you don't have to have the clear one as well. Last year I did do 2 red cups. I just got a huge package of them at Costco, and it worked totally fine. I would just put 1 red cup inside another one, but the little issue, the little hiccup is that every time I had to keep going ahead and lifting the cup just to see if I needed to put water inside, because I wasn't able to see what the water level was at. So this year I upgraded and I just went to Walmart. So these are all Walmart brand cups this time. They're cheaper. I will say they're a smidge flimsier for the red ones, that is. And then the clear ones, these are actually the Solo Cup brand. But you can use whatever brand you would like. You don't have to just get the solo cup, but you do need to make sure that they are 18 ounces because they will fit nicely. I don't have one on me, but one of the solo cups that I had from last time from Costco, they are just too wide, so they wouldn't fit. They actually went about halfway. So just make sure that they look about the same width, so then that way the red one can fit inside the clear one. So as you can see, having the clear one, you are able to see where the water level will be at when you go ahead and transplant or go ahead and self-start all of your tomato seeds in here. So we're gonna go ahead and plant just 2 little seeds. So that way when I do go ahead and grow my tomato seeds next weekend, we can take a look and see how this one is doing. So you're gonna need a few materials before you go ahead and get started. First off, you're gonna need your 18-ounce solo cups. Once again, Walmart brand solo cup. I'll put the pictures up right now, but for the Walmart ones, I was able to get 50 cups. And then for the Solo brand, I believe it was 25 cups per package, and it was a little under $5. I still have some of my cups from last year. I did give some away, so you can definitely save these, clean them out, give them a good rinse, and then you can go ahead and use them next year if you're worried about losing out on all the cups that you're gonna have to buy. You are going to need a sharp razor blade. Then, if you're going to be seed starting in them, you can get yourself a little sandwich bag, and you're definitely gonna go ahead and get yourself a marble. You're gonna need a marble. This is what's gonna help with the water levels and keeping the solo cups from not touching each other. So you're just gonna need those, and then we're gonna get started. So we're gonna go ahead and prepare our red solo cups. You're gonna need a nice sharp razor blade. I will say though, the Walmart brand, they were cheaper. They're a little bit flimsier, so just please be careful and do not cut yourself. You are gonna wanna go ahead and start about 1 inch up. So I'm kind of just using this bottom wave as like a little marker, and you're going to go ahead and make 3 triangles. So you're just gonna go ahead, and they don't have to be very big. You can make nice little skinny ones if you want. But again, please be careful. And then that's what mine looks like about here. And then you're just gonna go ahead and cut it off. So you have your first triangle right here. So then you're gonna go ahead and make 2 more. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do wanna have them roughly 1 inch tall. And then I found if I just go ahead and peel this back, it makes it a lot easier to go ahead and cut the little triangle. There's 2. And let's make our 3rd one. Then you just peel it back. And then you're good to go. So we're gonna have 1, 2, and 3 triangles, roughly again, an inch tall. So again, it's totally up to you if you wanna get a clear cup. This is just another way for you to see how much water you have. You're gonna wanna make sure that when your cup is in, that the water level is about halfway up your little triangle that you made, your drainage hole. So then that way it can go ahead and soak up what it needs. Sometimes what I will do though is if it does tend to dry up, I might give it another day or so before I refill it, just because you also don't want it to get too over watered or too soggy or in the actual cup itself. And then after a while, you'll actually see the roots coming out of these little drainage holes, which is actually really cool. So what's really neat about this is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna fill it up halfway. I already had mine pre-moistened because we are going to go ahead and drop our seeds inside, but only halfway, because this way, if you do decide to use the double cup method, you don't have to go ahead and repot them over and over as your tomatoes are growing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and fill it halfway. Once it germinates and starts to grow and starts to get its first few sets of leaves, all you have to do is add more potting mix. As it keeps growing, you can add more and more until it gets to the very top, and you're gonna help it develop an amazing root system, because every time the dirt touches your stem, it's going to go ahead and create more roots, and that is going to give you a stronger plant to go ahead and put out in the garden. All right, now that you have your solo cup filled halfway with your favorite potting mix, indoor potting mix that is, or your favorite seed starting mix, you're gonna go ahead and place 2 seeds. Now, you can place more than 1 if you choose, more than 2 if you choose. Just know that you're gonna have to, at some point, pluck one out. I will put 2 kind of like as an insurance policy, just to make sure that I do have something germinated. I actually last year just used leftover Tupperware. You can actually go ahead and just take one of these cups if you want, and you can put 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. And then as they go ahead and germinate, you can go ahead and pluck them out and then just put it into a new solo cup. So I have my self-harvested seeds. These are pink tomato seeds that I got from my farm share. And I'm going to go ahead and put 3 of them because it is my first time ever saving tomato seeds, and you have that whole process. So I just hope I did a decent job. So I'm gonna go ahead and place 3 seeds. I'm gonna try and spread them out a little bit in case I do need to go ahead and pluck them out. Okay, heck up, they're just gonna do 4. All right, so there's 4 seeds in there. I'm gonna put the rest back in here. And tomato seeds do not need light to germinate. So you can just put them on a heat mat. You don't have to go ahead and have your grow lights on as well, but once they do go ahead and pop through the dirt, they're going to need light to germinate. So it's up to you, but you do want the heat mat on around 75 degrees. I do like it warmer, so I probably will be going ahead and bumping up my heat mat, or I do have 2 smaller ones that I actually think will be better to go ahead and put those on, because I can put them on the top rack since it doesn't need light to germinate. So I have my 4 cute little seeds in there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and push them in a little bit and bury them. And then I'm gonna go ahead and top them off with vermiculite. All right, so there we go. And again, this bag of vermiculite, I mean, I feel like it's gonna last me a lifetime, but I do tend to grow a ton of flowers at some point. I am just like itching to go ahead and get my flowers in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. These are topped off with vermiculite right here. And then you are gonna wanna go ahead and grab yourself a sandwich bag. Any sandwich bag will do. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna pop it on. And that is what's gonna act as your little humidity dome. So you don't have to go ahead and put them in like a 72 cell tray. You can go ahead and just keep them in here. And then if all 4 happen to germinate, which I will be super thrilled about because it means that I did a good job harvesting my tomato seeds for the first time, I will pluck 3 of them out and I will just go ahead and transplant them into their own solo cup. But first what I'm going to do is get my trusty spray bottle and go ahead and just set them in really well. So this is what my final product looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and get my makeshift humidity dome on, and I am going to leave this on. Now it can take anywhere from 3 to 4 days for them to germinate. Once they germinate, go ahead, take this off, and you're gonna wanna go ahead and put them off the heat mat and into wherever light system that you have going on. So simple as that. And again, I cannot tell you enough how much better using just another cup, self-watering itself basically, and it's gonna help also grow your root system because it's gonna make your roots grow longer, and you're gonna have some great tomato plants in the end. Now, it's totally up to you if you wanna go ahead and get a clear cup. You do not need to by any means. Just know that from last year, it got a little bit annoying, I'm gonna be honest here, to keep going ahead and plucking this out just to see what the water level is like. So if you do have a little extra money, again, you can save these too. You can just rinse them out and give them a good cleaning. If you can, go ahead and get the clear one. I feel like it's just gonna make a world of a difference, just being able to see where the water level is at. So that way you're not going ahead and wasting time seeing where your water level is every single time. And it might be a little bit tricky to see it too, because you want it to be about 1/2 of an inch or so for your triangle. And when you have 2 red solo cups, it's gonna be a little bit tricky if you have enough in it. And you also don't wanna put too much. Once the cup goes down, it will sink and rise the water level. So again, you don't need to have the clear one, but I do suggest it because last year I was just like, oh my gosh, this is getting old, especially if you're someone like me and you're starting rather early, hoping that you can get an earlier harvest. All right, I did decide to go ahead and just put my smaller heat mat on. It has the probe. Right now it's at 69.6 degrees. I went ahead and bumped that up to 75. So that way I am not disturbing my flowers that are at an average of 70 to 72 degrees with the heat mat. And we will check these out in a week and hopefully we'll have some germination. And as you can see, we got a lot of snowfall. We actually are supposed to get 3 more snowstorms within this week. So right now, all of my little, you guys see them? They're all tucked in. That is all of my winter sowing jugs. You can barely see them. They are covered right now with snow. So let's go ahead and we'll let these be and we'll check them out in a week. Thanks so much for hanging out with me once again. I hope this was helpful. I am going to go ahead and start making a bunch of triangles because I do have big plans for growing a lot of tomatoes this year. I already am going to go ahead and do 4 different kind of cherry tomatoes just on my trellises. Never mind my cattle panel arches as well. So I have a lot of planning to do. I'm going to take this whole entire week to go ahead and get my cups ready. I don't know right now if I'm going to go ahead and start them in the cups or if I'm going to just go ahead and pluck them from a big, larger tray and then going ahead and put them in after. So you can go ahead and do it multiple different ways. You can either put it in a 72 cell tray once they germinate and you feel like they need to be up potted, going ahead and putting them in the solo cups, or you can go ahead and start them in the solo cups. We will go ahead and see how this one is doing in about a week. Hopefully we'll have some growth, or again, whatever works for you. Just know that once they're in here, they can live in here and it's going to make a world of a difference for not having to up pot multiple times. It's seriously as simple as that. And for someone like me who is a beginner gardener and my second year, no farm share, it is all on me this year. I want to make sure that I have some nice healthy tomato plants. I am starting them rather early because last year I had a lot of green ones left over and I had to pluck them and then let them go ahead and just ripen up in the sun. This time I want to see if I can go ahead and get a little bit of an earlier harvest since I do have so many tomato varieties. So we're going to be starting them next weekend. So in about a week, we can go ahead and see how our little pink heirloom tomato seeds are doing. Hopefully they germinated. If not, well then, wah wah, I did not do a good job seed saving tomatoes, so that's okay. It's a big learning experience, and I definitely hope that I did a good job because I actually saved a lot of seeds and I didn't have too many backups. So here's to a good, happy tomato season, and cheers and happy gardening. If you found this helpful at all, if you don't mind to go ahead and like and subscribe, that would be wonderful. I love seeing our community grow, and hopefully I'm helping out some beginner gardeners so that if you're just like me and trying to figure things out, we can learn together, and then we can see what results come about in a few months, because even though we just got 8 inches and we have 3 more snowstorms on the way, I am just thinking spring and summer, where I can just be out in the garden all the time. So cheers to 2025 and see you soon. Bye.